So we got the Secret Society Part 2. Uh, one thing I want to get out of the way. I didn't realize that they had set up where Grodd had got. I forgot that they had him with the helmet when they introduced him in the series. I was always so used to him having psychic powers that when they went to this whole thing of, they I gained psychic powers through when the Flash monkeyed with my helmet. I went, oh yeah, they did set that up. Okay, so now he has this. That's the reason. I'm so used to him having psychic powers that I didn't even dawn on me that this was something new. Uh, this is way more a case of behavioral science. That's how he took him apart. I mean, I don't think they necessarily. He could have set up more scenarios, but Grodd was using his mental powers just to push them a little here, a little there. How he knew to get that and set up, there's problems with that. But the idea, the behavioral science, and you got to wonder if he's even using the reverse on the society. They never go into that, but you got to think maybe. Because Grodd is not someone who's going to leave that to chance. And he kind of has this whole, rise. The superior shall rise and crush the weak, and that's why the Justice League is bad because they aid the helpless. So that seems to be his angle, and that's interesting. And a lot of people, some people feel that way. I don't necessarily subscribe to that theory, of course. And even the people who do, they don't necessarily mean that we should. Okay, some people believe that we should just let those in need, burn. But most people, even if they do that, they do believe in charity. They just don't believe in necessarily like a handout or I will support you. More of like I want to give you the tools. Is there? But this is the extreme. This is the you are holding me back from greatness. So let's kill you or subjugate you because you're not letting me achieve my potential. And it doesn't end on a happy note. That's once again like with Twilight. It doesn't end on a happy note. It ends with a triumphant, but not a happy. They win. The Justice League wins. I mean, it's a superhero show. The good guys win. That's a given. But how they win and the consequences, which I'm sure by the next episode they're going to be mostly gelled back together. But, for the moment, it ends in something really good. Grodd didn't put words in their mouth. He just pushed them to let their resentments and their anger out. And things they were more normally where they would suppress or they meant what they said. There wasn't, it wasn't. They were coaxed into saying things they felt, so they can't say we didn't mean that. And it ends with, Leonard says all we can do is say we're sorry and try to move forward, which is really good. I like that it doesn't end with and go team. It ends in crap. Well, we'll have to try to suck it up. And that's good, because any other show, it would have been like, like I said, go team. It would have been, that was all, that wasn't us, that was him manipulating. But, they're like, no, that's crap. That's us. That was us. That's us with just a little poking, and that is a disturbing thought that we can fall apart like that. What does that say about us? And there still is all the hurt feelings. And it was facilitated by Lantern's approach in not treating him as, and they addressed that in this episode. And then once again they chose the most effective character to have that bring that up. Is Hawkgirl, and they even have the whole. They push the relationship more. you get an arc there. You get a feeling. I thought they were going to pay off that line about how much he cared by having him like her be in peril when she like gets nailed by Grodd and him having to like do something really self-sacrificing. But they didn't do that. I thought that was a failed opportunity, although it might have been cliche. But uh, that it was. That does bother me because I wish they would have capitalized on that. It would have been telegraphed and foreshadowed, and some people would complain about that. But I would have found that good. Uh, but yeah, really, and they have a really cool fight. Uh, I like that once again, John gets to use his shape changing powers. Although I kind of wonder how he's doing the mental block and how Grodd doesn't know, but it's mental stuff. The Manhunter's been able to mask himself before, although John Stewart was. It's iffy. It's not necessarily a plot hole. It's more of a bump in the road. You kind of go, how does that kind of work? Well, I guess that kind of does it. Uh, so that's interesting, and they have like him fighting Clayface, so it's kind of weirdly fluid, and they're both doing the same kind of. I don't know. I think entirely it's just from a logic standpoint. I don't know why he's doing very fluid attacks against Clayface. He should keep more soft, so that his teammates can easily identify him, as opposed to Clayface's, who's obviously has to have these fluid. That's how he moves. He's living clay. I don't know why he's the actual. It's to I know why in an animation sense they're doing it. They're doing it to disorient. You don't know who's winning. You don't know who to go with, and possibly you could even say to set up that he is capable of those motions and that level of manipulation for the reveal later. But like I said, from a logic standpoint, if you were actually in a fight, you do with shape changing. If you were a shape changer fighting a shape changer, you want to do the best you can to differentiate so that your teammates can tell you two apart. Like I said, I understand why it was and it works, but it's just one of those things. I'm like, why would he go that way and do that instead of? But it pays off. So, like I said, it's the strength of this entire. And they have this whole thing where they show up at the football field. The Secret Society's got them all captured. And that's where Grodd has this big speech about, the Superior and whatnot. And I'm kind of having a twitch, and I know why they did it, and it works. They have them in this football stadium, and it's a packed stadium. So when the Justice League is freed and they're gonna go fight, they go for it. They have this scene where it ramps to this one little kid, and he's like, after they're freed, this whole stadium of people, and it's like they're all quiet, they're all terrified, and Justice League gets free, and they're about ready to throw down, and it ramps into this one little kid and says, "Get him." And then the fight's just raw, two sides charging at each other and back and forth and fighting and whatnot. But you have you had the spectacle, so you get the cheering and the explode, get the fireworks and the whole spectacle of a football game. But once again, my brain's kind of ticking this is a very crowded area, and they seem to be kind of. I would have liked them to have to show control, or at no point does it seem like either the bad guys take advantage of the fact that they're in a stadium full of people, or do the good guys have to hold back their attack or do some level of manipulation to avoid hurting? It's kind of like the crowd becomes inconsequential minus the noise, and you see even when one's I think Giganta slams into the bleachers, and there's no one there around. There's a couple of people scattered on the edges, but are the people evacuating? What's going on? I think the sense of peril would be greater I felt the people were in actually some sort of danger. It seemed they're more of a prop to kind of have this fanfare, this big clash of the titans with like whoo, claps and applause and all that. And I love that ending. I love that ending because it's real. It's human. It's not the you don't all of a sudden you don't say a bunch of hurtful things and let that go. Even if you say you're sorry, even if you accept that person's apology, your feelings are still hurt. You haven't recovered yet. You've decided to work on recovering or start to get over it. You're not there. You don't just flip a switch and you're good again. You have to sit there. You have to accept, either what you did or someone else did or what you both said or did, and then you have to mutually work to get past it. But you have to accept each other's, apology and that's the beginning. It's not the end. Uh, and I like that they show that. So I guess that's it. I mean, this is I love that ending, man. More stuff like that. Something that challenges the characters on an emotional level. And I love when they go for that. They go like with Twilight and a couple of the other ones they've done. So those are the ones I'm like, oh. And this is totally worth the cliche of the cliche arc of, oh, they got to disband the team. This episode totally worth any little like, I've seen it before, blah 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 from the first part. Good stuff. All right, see you later.